The for sale by owner, which is something that we do see with some degree of regularity, is out there. And it's something that I do get involved in that, you as an agent and other agents wouldn't have the opportunity to be involved in. And I represent a lot of these folks, but there's a lot of costs that are associated with being a for sale by owner. There's, kind of three components of cost. There's the monetary cost that's associated with selling on your own.
Yep.
There's the cost that's associated with being unprepared. So those are folks that really don't know what they're getting into. And then there's the emotional cost, because there's a lot of times where, you're not having the buffer of an agent. And what does that cost the seller? So the attorney's fees are something that we're routinely asked about. What does it cost for the attorney to prepare the purchase and sales agreement, represent the seller, manage everything as if we were a realtor? So, those costs usually are determined on an hourly basis because we don't know what kinds of negotiations are going to be required of us as the attorney up front.
So basically the negotiations that an attorney is going to do is just make sure that the contract is put together correctly. And if the buyers and sellers get in a snag, you would get in the middle of that. You're
Right.
not pulling comps as an attorney.
Absolutely not.
Okay,
No.
so you're not pulling comps, and they found this buyer because they're a tenant, or most all for sale by owners that actually happen because they knew of the buyer beforehand. Friends, relatives, or neighbors. 24% of the actual sales that go through are from friends, relatives, or neighbors.
Wow.
Now tell me something. Do you really think that those people are paying top dollar for that house?
I've read the statistic that they're not. Generally speaking, that's one of the major costs, is that the for sale by owner is leaving money on the table.
The median for sale by owner home, single family home that's sold, $190,000 compared to $249,000 for an agent assisted median home sale.
Wow.
That's a large difference.
Right.
Only 8% of all the market is for sale by owner, and by the way, 85% of that 8% end up listing with a realtor. Now, the cost-wise, Melissa, I've seen anywhere from $1,500 additional to what people are already spending for an attorney to drop the deed, etc., all the way up to over $4,000 additional for an attorney to provide a limited type of service, situation for sale by owner.
So, again, definitely the amount of time that is involved from a negotiation perspective and drafting perspective. Plus, we don't know if there's complications in the title.
Yes.
So when you just see, wow, $4,000, that was a lot of money for that attorney. Maybe they did some extra add-on. Maybe they didn't. Maybe that was just their hourly cost for the negotiations. Because again, these deals can get very messy and muddy. And if you've got an attorney charging $350 an hour negotiating a transaction, then it's going to get costly. Certainly agents do charge, 6% is the industry average out there. We know that. But if you break it down hourly, Emilio, I'm willing to bet you're not at $350 an hour. The moral of the story is you should absolutely be talking to an agent if you want to sell your home, because although you may think that you're saving money, and you may save relative to the commission, you're potentially exposed to lots of lost money.